Hello, world, and welcome back to Real Talk with Rajan when nothing's off limits. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with me, and I appreciate that. I am your host, Rajan Lewis. Now, here on Real Talk with Rajan, everything's debatable. So, on any given week, we could be discussing sports, music, to politics. You name it, we'll discuss it. Now, for those who are new to the show, Real Talk with Rajan has a goal of shining a light on the great things that are happening right here in the Low Country. We talk about everything that's going on everywhere else in the world, but I'm telling you here tonight that we have people in Charleston that are here to change the world through their acts of kindness and their deeds. And tonight is nothing different because we have the very special Miss Erica Cokley, the founder of Voices United. Thank you so much for joining me, Erica.
Hi, thank you very much for having me, Rajan. How are you tonight?
I am great, actually. For those who've been watching, we've been having some technical difficulties, but we're gonna work our way through it. So, Erica, for those who do not know who you are, please introduce yourself to the audience.
My name is Erica Cokley. I am 39 years old. I'm a mother of three. I have three children, two boys, one girl. My oldest is 22. Uh, my only girl will be 17 in July, and my 7-year-old awesome kiddo, he's the one that keeps me on my toes. Born and raised in Columbia, South Carolina,
Mhm.
graduated from Brooklyn Casey High School, class of 98. Go Bearcats.
Go Bearcats.
There. Always a people person, always love to help. Moved here to Charleston, oh, close to, I guess it's been about 20 years. I'm just going to go
Okay.
ahead and round it off. About 20 years ago, family brought me here, stayed, and it's just been, family ever since. So here we
All
are.
right. All right. Good stuff. So you're originally from the Charleston area, moved to Columbia, then moved back.
Nope. My family's originally, like, I have family that's born and
Okay,
raised
you're
in Charleston,
you're
but
from Columbia.
I'm originally from Columbia.
Okay, word. And you went to Brooklyn Casey, home
Went
of
to
the
Brooklyn,
Bearcats.
home of the Bearcats.
Bearcats. I lived in Columbia for like 2.5 years, and I had no idea where Casey was until I moved back to Charleston, and then went anyway. Because when you're in Fort Jackson, you're really in a cocoon anyway. It's not really, you don't really
Yep.
do Columbia
It's all just one big old circle, kind of like Charleston. Everything else is just one big old circle.
much. All right. So I know that you do work in the community as an activist. Can you talk a little bit about your activism and what got you into it in the first place?
Just I guess the power of voice. Just always right is right, wrong is wrong.
Mm,
So even coming up as a child, just feeling like you're not being heard, just things that have happened. If something was right, if it was right, I said it. If it was wrong, I always had that power of voice to be able to kind of stand up for myself. And some people never had that power of voice. Some people resulted in fighting, some people resulted in bullying.
mm,
And I guess because I was always on the outside looking in, I kind of knew that. So I found other ways to kind of deal with some of the things that I was going through. So just helping. I just love having my 2 cents, I guess, about everything. Whether it was trying to take a leadership position in school, or
hmm
trying to take like a assistant manager position versus just a crew manager position at work. Just trying to have not some sense of control, but being able to lead by example. I guess sometimes lead by example,
mm,
and that's what got me into activism. So when you get tired of seeing certain things happen, or you want something that you want, you just got to go for it. You can't just sit back and just wait for anybody else to do something for you. So that's where Voices United came from. I
mm,
just went into that because I can't sit back and think that anybody else is really going to do anything else other than ourselves to help our children.
mm,
So I feel with the power of voice, we all have respectfully, we all have the power to be able to verbally express our input concerning everything. So if it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Even if we agree to disagree, let's talk about it and respectfully move forward, with it. So I'm happy that I'm actually doing this show right now.
hmm
And under the circumstances, I think it's even better that I'm doing what I'm doing right now because of the
Yes.
things that are going on across the nation. Um, a year ago, I actually put in the motion to go ahead and birth my nonprofit, I guess, because it just wasn't one thing that I dealt with. So, in a nutshell, which is why I said Voices United, I felt like there was a loss of unity in our community,
Mm,
amongst our women, amongst our families. I felt like amongst our generations, there are lots
yeah.
of things that have been broken and that have been lost. And
hmm
I was one of those survivors. So I'm not going to say a victim. I was a survivor. I was able to break some of those generational cycles, although I did fall into one by having a child 2 weeks before I graduated from high school. But I did not let that hinder me. And
Mm.
so that's what I want other people to be able to know. So when I lost my only sibling to gun violence,
You still with me? You
can
lost
you
your
hear me?
sibling to gun violence. Yes. Yes.
When I lost my only sibling to gun violence, my brother left behind 7 children.
Mm.
And the thing to me, I felt like if I wasn't going to be able to do anything for those children, I had to do my part in the world to make sure that I left the world better than the way that it was, and so that they would be better off when I wasn't here.
Yeah.
And I remember having conversations with my children when they were little. If I can't do it for you, then I'm going to be able to do it for my grandkids. But there was something that needed to be done. So, ironically, as I look at the things that are going on right now, this is better time than ever to go ahead and say, you know what? I have to get my nonprofit off the ground. So,
Mm.
Voices United, my nonprofit, is an organization that is based on collaborative efforts that are collaboration and partnership that we need to build within our community so that we can proactively reclaim the way that we are raising our children, the way
Mm-hmm.
that we are building our families, and the way that we are leading our communities.
All right. All right. So how? So what methods do you use to make those connections with those families and with the community?
Everything that you've seen me do, Ray John, you've seen me
Mm-hmm.
protesting. I've been out there on the Fight for 15 campaign. I've been out there on the school board. I've labeled myself bus stop mama because I've been that lady that's been out here waving down those cars as they, passing the bus stop. So I
Uh
got a
huh.
up out there, you know. When I look at it, all of those things in a nutshell have kind of come to what's going on right now. The lack of education, the lack of affordable housing, the lack of transportation.
Mm-hmm.
People are angry right now. The things that are going on right now that we see are the things that I've lived through, the things that I've been able to survive through, and the things that I've managed to raise my children through. The
Okay.
broken education system, so the things that I've done, I've been to student improvement council meetings. I've been down here to school board meetings. I know who my school board members are. I've protested. I've been on the campaign line. So next method is like I've marched more times than I really want to at the present moment in
Mm-hmm.
my almost 40 years of life.
Yeah.
So that my
Yeah.
children are not doing the same thing in the next 20 years, it's time for us to start implementing strategies.
I
So
love
that's
that.
why I get my nonprofit together. I had to. I followed you, and I don't know if I've ever told you, but I'm going to tell you this right now. I remember when Young Gentlemen's Club came about. My 22-year-old went to West Ashley High School,
Mm-hmm.
and if I remember correctly, y'all had purple, like these purple suits that y'all had to wear. If that's the same thing, but there was a Young Gentlemen's Club that
At West
started
Ashley
at West
High. There is one at West
at
Ashley.
West
Yes.
Ashley. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
my son was in it, but he was doing other sports and other things that he just couldn't keep up with what it was doing with them.
Mm-hmm.
But I was able, but he fell back. But I remember when Young Gentlemen's Club came about, and then I
Mm-hmm.
remember when this show came about.
Mm-hmm.
So there are probably people watching, which I hope, like Pastor Dixon.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when he came out and he walked with us with the Fight for 15 campaign.
Mm-hmm.
I hope Brianna Kemp is watching. She was out there with the Fight for 15 campaign.
Mm.
So they asked what's coming from these marches. Hold, hands up, don't shoot. What's coming from it? Y'all are having more leaders that are coming out right now. I'm
Mm.
one of these leaders that are saying enough is enough, and that's where Voices United comes from. Enough is enough, and I've collaborated with some people. I've reached out to you. That's how
Mm-hmm.
we got. And I've
Yep.
watched you before we even got here.
Yes.
I've watched Elvin, I've watched Kim, I've watched Mr. Lewis. There are
Mm-hmm.
people that I've watched that, whether we agree with what it is that they say or what they do,
Yep.
respectfully, we're all in this together, number one, and we
Yep.
all seem to be trying to do the same thing. So as I look back and I've had a part with each one of them, I said, what can I do to collectively bring us all together.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where I come from. So when I do things, each person that I've done something with, each person that I've followed, each person that has followed me, this is where we come from.
Mm-hmm.
When I say agree to respectfully, disagree, even though we may be different or our thoughts or what our processes may be different, the ending process is still the same. So
Absolutely.
I don't want what's happening right now, the momentum that we have picked up with bringing attention to what's actually going on in our nation right now,
Mm-hmm.
while everybody else is profiting off of the negative. I need us to make sure we profit off of what's going on strategically and move forward together.
I love that. I love that. So I guess, while we're here, we might as well talk about it. With everything that happened as far as the protests on Saturday. Were you out there Saturday?
Saturday, yes, I was out there Saturday. If that was the one, that was the first one, with the Black
No.
Lives Matter out at
Correct.
Marion Square. Yes,
Correct.
I was.
So were
Yes,
you
I
that
was.
you were there early and late, or just early or just late?
I was there earlier on in the daytime.
Mm-hmm.
Now, mind you, I was leaving right when I guess we have to have permits, and we were leaving right when the permits were almost up. They
Mm-hmm.
still had time, but there were things that I noticed that the media won't bring attention to.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
would be the person like that voice. When people don't believe what's happening, I see the things that happen. I
Mm-hmm.
know the things that happen. And this is not the first time I've witnessed with my own two eyes that peacefully, while you're doing what you're doing, certain things can come about to make it seem like it's not as peaceful as you think.
Absolutely, absolutely, and so that's really I've been Monday night I did a show, Our Lives Matter, a community discussion where I had people come on to talk about their feelings surrounding the protest. And I know this the local celebrity spotlight is not a spotlight on the protest, but I know you are a part of it, so I wanted to make sure I asked about it. Do you believe that the same people that were there in the beginning of the day are the same people that were there at night, or do you believe that there were different people that were there at night? I just want to know.
Okay, well, my thoughts on all of that is, I'll put it this way: I don't think they were the same people there that day, that night.
Mm-hmm.
I do know that there will be people that will come in to try to, profit and try to take away from the real issues that are actually what's going on.
Yes.
I do know that much. I do know that much.
Yes. Yes.
I
I want to.
also
Yes.
know that we may have some knuckleheads that might fall along with some of those,
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, the same people there that day may or may not have been the same people there at night. And I do know that there will be some that try to, emphasize all the negative and
Mm-hmm.
not what's actually, to take away with what's happening.
Absolutely. I agree totally. And I thank you so much for saying that. I just want to make sure that we did talk a little bit about that. So you marched here, and you also didn't you go to did you go to the teachers march in Columbia last year?
I did. Yes, I did. I
And what
marched.
so let's talk about the similarities there, because activism is activism. We can talk activism. So
Yes, it is.
what were the similarities that you noticed between the teachers rally and the march that happened on Saturday? And what are the differences?
Well, the unity, first of
Mm-hmm.
all, that's the
Yeah.
similarity. The
Yes.
unity. The difference was there was not as much negative reinforcement, or I guess law enforcement,
Mm-hmm.
there at the teachers rally
Yeah.
as there was at the Black Lives Matter
Yes.
rally, to be
Yes.
honest.
Yes. Do you think that difference was a result of what happened in Minneapolis, or do you think if this was the first rally that happened, it would have still had the same amount of police presence?
Oh man, that's definitely exactly what that is. And I just really hate to say that. And now, since I'm able to say that,
Mm-hmm.
I've always wanted to speak and say what it is that I needed to say.
Yes.
And once given that platform, I was going to use it the best way that I knew how. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't given to me. So that's why I created my organization and I went out there and I took it.
Yeah.
What do I have to say about that? Activism is activism. You do what you need to do. I mean, I just feel like you shouldn't you should be able to express yourself the way that you need to be able to express yourself.
Yes.
And it's been a long time coming. Either it's going
Mm-hmm.
to happen or it wasn't going to happen. Now, I don't condone some of the negative parts of it,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean? It's not as bad as it could have been. It's not as bad as it should have been,
Mm-hmm.
but it could be more positive.
Yes, yes, and I think I was listening to a video earlier today, and a lady was saying, people keep talking about how they protested, and they're not talking about why they protested, and that's the
That,
problem that comes out of it when it goes that route. But I also believe that I have the right to exercise my rights as long as they're not violating yours, and
and
that's
that's what
like that. It's just like if something makes me happy, yeah, it's great that it makes me happy, but if I'm doing something that makes me happy that makes you unhappy, I probably shouldn't do it. But we all know that, of course, the case is that there was a situation where there had been tension built up. There was the whole situation surrounding, the fact that this is Charleston, and we have been through so much in the city of Charleston,
yes.
that we didn't react to that way, and a lot of people don't feel like we got out of it what we should have gotten out of it. So I definitely understand that feeling.
And that's why we have to do this right here. And like I said, I'm almost 40. I'll be 40 in August.
Mhm.
Let the world know I'm almost 40. I have a 22-year-old son,
Mm.
and when I say I remember the marches, I marched at the on the schoolhouse. I
Mhm.
marched downtown the last 2 days. I went downtown for Trayvon Martin. Me and my kids went down with the hoodies on, with the Skittles in our pockets.
Yep.
With Walter Scott, they kind of pat us on our back and try to make us be quiet. They were the narrative of how we were made to feel.
Mhm.
People, when you shut down and people are grieving, you don't dictate how people are supposed to be able to grieve.
Yeah.
So when I say it's been like it built up, and then it's not so much as when you're paying attention to the wrong things
Yeah.
and not the reason that it happened in the first place.
Right.
So
Right.
when I've marched more than I've wanted to, what can we do to come out of this? What
Right.
strategies are we going to do to move forward so we're not here again?
I agree totally. I think that's the piece we really have to figure out. Um, that's the piece I really when I us talking. It's the part that I really wish we would have had figured out before the march. Is okay. This happens now. What do we concertedly want? Where do we concertedly want to go with it? And that's just me. I don't. I love the fact that that Charleston stood up. I don't say we stood up because I wasn't out there, so I'm not going to make myself. I'm not. I don't do the I don't add myself to the majority when I'm not a part of it. But I definitely do believe in the same ideals. I believe in what they stand for. If you actually look at my shirt, I want to stand up and show you my shirt real quick. It says, we march, y'all mad. We sit down, y'all
That's
mad.
it.
We speak up, y'all mad. We
That's
die,
it.
y'all silent.
Yep.
So that this shirt
I
speaks
need
for
that shirt.
itself.
I need that
Huh?
shirt.
Oh
I need
yeah.
that
Oh
shirt.
yeah. So if you want to get this shirt, this is actually a great spot to plug. Go science2see.com. Science2see.com just became a sponsor of Real Talk with Rajan. And so a lot of the shirts that I'll be wearing, and I actually just got my own masks. So if you
All right.
so
I
Real Talk
like that.
Rajan now has a sponsor sound. You see, so if you like this shirt, and he has plenty of them like it, go to www.science2c.com, www.science2c.com, and that's enough for the plug. So back to you, Erica. Back to you. So as far as Voices United, what can we look to see happening with Voices United in the coming months and years?
Um, right now, you're going to see a lot more networking as far as collaborative efforts. I'm going to there are some things I'm going to and also business networking to I want to I guess my two main things other than organizing and partnering with women to empower women. We're going to be doing some group sessions just like this right now, some talk sessions. How are we going to empower the women going forward? That's my next thing. My other next thing is focusing on, I guess, like, and I hate to say it, but right now, how can we teach our like childhood safety? So we're
Yeah.
going to start doing some women's safety groups. That's my other partner, my other business partner, Nia, who teaches women self-defense. So we're
Mm-hmm.
going to start empowering our women. And I guess my two main things that I want to really, really do that I said that's come up out of all of this, I want to start making sure that strategically, I want to start building junior bosses. I want
Mm.
to start making sure that our children are not just learning to work for other people, but they're learning to build their own businesses. So I want to start focusing on how to build junior bosses and teach our children how to be business entrepreneurs. And I'm going to start a scholarship fund in my brother's name, who I lost to gun violence a couple years ago,
Mm.
to send, for children who's lost a parent to gun violence. That's very special and dear to me also. Um, my nephew's actually here with me right now. So again, this is like the perfect time to be kind of like doing something like this right here, because it all just kind of came together. It all just kind of came together. Losing a brother,
Yeah.
all the things that I've grown up with, and trying to be able to do something not just for my nieces and nephews and my own children, but for the children in my community. So you're going to be seeing some Facebook empowerment videos for our women. You're going to
Mm.
be seeing boosting up some junior bosses. I'm also my daughter's going to be the first one that I'm working on right now. We're doing some some mason jar, some sweet treats in a mason jar. She's doing like chewies. So
Mm-hmm.
she has an online business right now. But I want to build junior bosses.
I love that.
So thank you. Thank you. We have to learn how to work on things that are for just us. So once
Yes.
we teach our children how to work for themselves and build their own businesses to acquire, you know, uh, future funds and future to be satisfied. To be successful within the future and not have
Mm.
to depend on anybody else. We need to teach our children how to do that. So those are going to be the two things that I'm working on right now: scholarship fund, business leadership fund, and women
Awesome.
empowerment. So I
I
guess
love that.
Rach,
I love that. I love that. So, do you plan on partnering with the other nonprofits in the organization who work with these same issues, or do you want to like? Yeah.
that's exactly what I plan to do. There's a few that Women Demand Action, gun violence. There's another young lady, I Am His Voice, who's lost someone to gun violence, Miss Tisha Wax.
Tisha.
That's
Yes.
what I've been doing, I guess, kind of behind the scenes. Like, I haven't been out like everybody else, but you see, I've been meeting people and I've been doing things in the community, to meet those people. I guess because of the things that I've already dealt with. And once I saw what they were dealing with, that's what made me come out to say, you know what, I have to be able to do this, because each one had one thing, but I had this one, that had everything under one umbrella. And
Mm.
that's how I said, you know what, that's how we can build unity again, between our women. That's how we can build the unity amongst our girls, because I saw that there was a break within the community. There was like a break within the connection between our women and our children. So how could I build that, put that back together? And
Mm.
that's what I've been trying to do right now. So this is better time than any. And then I noticed that you doing I see you, I've watched you, doing your Facebook pages, and y'all are reaching out to the men, and y'all are reaching out to the young gentlemen. And I
Yes.
said, what can I do to reach out to our young girls? And
Yes.
this is what I said, I'm working on the girls. Now, I don't mind taking some of the guys, but y'all got them, but we're working on our girls. And this is where it
Absolutely.
all coming from right now. We all
Absolutely.
we got. We all we got, and we have to build our village back one person at a time.
I love that. I love your passion. I love the passion that you speak with. Every time I talk to you, you always have so much passion. Are y'all doing Juneteenth this year?
Yes, well, I'm not doing Juneteenth. My friend Nikki Sloss is doing Juneteenth.
Shout out to
She's on
Nikki.
Facebook. Yeah, well, Nikki, she's doing it, so I'm going to be wherever she's going to be. I'm going to
Word.
be where she's going to be. Now, I was supposed to be doing something with her, but things happened, and then everybody else started doing their own little thing. But I
Yeah.
promise you, wherever she's at, I'm going to be right there with her.
Yeah. Nikki's another North Charleston High graduate, man. Shout out to North Charleston, aka Naughty. Y'all know how we do.
Now,
Cougars. All right. Anyway. Yeah, man. Like, so if people want to donate to your organization, if they want to support your organization, how can they get in touch with you?
well, y'all know who I'm on Facebook, Erica Cokley, or Voices United on Facebook, or via Facebook, Cash App, and Cash App is United Voices One.
Mm.
Everything goes towards the kids. Paperwork is incorporated. Going towards, building my scholarship up right now, and of course, going ahead and building up those junior bosses. Those are my two main things that I'm working on right now.
All right. Anything you want to say before we close?
First of all, I said it's a pleasure. First of all, being here, I got butterflies all in my stomach. I'm like really, really like nervous, but I guess
You're
it's best
killing it
that I'm
though.
at home doing this. Thank you. I mean, I don't know how many people are watching. I can't see what's going on, but I have to go to work tonight. But I just want everybody to know that right now, um, it is a somber time. But at the same time, I hope that we all take the moment to recollect within ourselves, just
Mm,
see within ourselves going forward that, right is right, wrong is wrong. No matter black, brown, what color earth suit that you wear, we're
mm,
all people. But for us, my brown brothers and sisters, it's time for us to strategically move forward. And what do we want? We want justice, but
mm,
we need to focus on things that we can get for us,
mm.
just us. That's what we need, and that's what we deserve. But for all of Charleston, I just need y'all to just, respect the ones that are doing what needs to be done. If you're not putting your foot out there on the ground to try to do anything, don't say anything to the ones that are trying. But
Yeah,
at the same time, we need to do it respectfully with a little bit of love. It's been a long time coming, but
mm,
hey, we need to make sure we make something come from it, and we didn't just make this noise for no reason. Thank you,
absolutely.
Rajon.
I love you for that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Erica. You killed that, man. Thank you so much for joining me. I can't thank you enough. I'm really excited about what's going to happen with you in the future and the things that's going to come for you. Once again, everybody, please go to Erica Cokley. Her name's right there on the page, as well as her page, Voices United. If you want to send her some money, send it via Cash App at $ what Voices United.
United Voices One. United
United Voices
Voices.
One. United Voices One. United Voices One. So hey, we got to get it together. Like she said, we got to get it together. We got to have a plan. We got to have a strategy, and we got to move forward as one. I love what you do in the community, and keep doing that. And with that being said, I'm gonna do my close. Yes. Thank you. 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 Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for watching this week. Reminder that the local celebrity spotlight shines every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. And sometimes I do it on special nights where I interview my local celebrities and unsung heroes. Tomorrow night, I am actually doing an impromptu local celebrity spotlight because I got an opportunity to interview this young man, Mr. G. Jordan, the young man who was actually arrested at the peaceful protest, and the one that he's like blowing up now because he made that special prayer, and then the people arrested him anyway, which was nuts. So we're going to be talking about that when we talk about his experience with the protest and what he plans on going forward with it. If you are doing something in the community that you would like a light shined on, please reach out to me on my website. That's www.realtalkwithrajon, so that we can discuss getting you on the show. This and all my shows, in addition to the Car Chronicles series, is now available for your listening pleasure via Apple, Google, Spotify, and any place you can find podcasts. You can also find it on my website, www.realtalkwithrajon.com. If you'd like to be made aware of when I go live, because sometimes it is unscheduled, please be sure to click the follow or subscribe tab on the page and turn on the notifications so that you will know when something new has been added to the page. In the meantime, please follow me on social media to stay up to date on everything that's happening with Real Talk with Rajon. On Twitter, I am at Real Talk Rajon. On Periscope, I am at Real Talk Rajon. On Facebook, I'm at Real Talk with Rajon. And on Instagram, I am at Real Talk Rajon. On YouTube, I am at Real Talk with Rajon. Please go to my YouTube and follow my YouTube because I have lots and lots of videos, but I don't have lots and lots of subscribers. It's sad, y'all. It's sad. Feel free to leave comments, questions, or whatever else you'd like to say in the comment section or the message section. I love reading your messages and getting your feedback, even if it's negative. Also, if you love this show, if you really, really love the show, would you please leave a 5-star rating on my podcast or review it on my Facebook or YouTube channel? Like I said earlier, I finally got my first sponsor. Shout out to Signs to See. We actually have a discount code. If you are watching and you want to get this shirt, we march, y'all mad. We sit down, y'all mad. We speak up, y'all mad. We die, y'all silent. If you want to get this shirt with a 10% discount, go to www.signs2see.com and put in the code Talk 2020. That's Real Talk 2020. In closing, I'm also currently accepting invitations for speaking arrangements, speaking engagements, and event hosting opportunities. If you would like for me to speak at or host your event, you can request me via my website. That's www.realtalkwithrajon.com. In closing, always remember, God is everything, and without him, we are nothing. So never forget where your help comes from. And if a man doesn't stand for something, he's bound to fall for anything. Now that is real talk. I will see y'all tomorrow night. I love you. God bless you. Peace.